Hello, I'm Johnny and welcome to the Ginger Geek Show and for a toy review. Today we're talking about the online exclusive Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver from Character Options. So, as always, we'll begin on talking about the actual box. So, if you don't actually know, this is the Vortex edition. Now, what that means, if you don't know, is basically the details on the head sculpt are basically bare. Now, I believe that it's only the head sculpt, unlike if you got the Ncuti Gatwa that came out last year. Also had like a new body. This isn't the kind of case, I believe, is what I kind of know of. But let's talk about the box first of all. So it's the usual kind of recent from the kind of 60th anniversary onwards look, which I actually really like. I think it much more pops than compared to what it used to be for a long while, where it was that grey look, which I just think was very ugly. But here, it's so much nicer. I think the colours really pop. We've got the Jodie Whittaker onwards TARDIS in the bottom left as normal, as well as in the side, we've got here some details saying it's the Vortex edition with accessories, the Third Doctor. Obviously down the bottom it's saying what it is, and then the side obviously kind of saying about the sonic screwdriver that comes with it. So in the side, as always, you've got the Doctor Who with the Third Doctor there, which I think in the future is going to be really nice, because I believe already we're going to get more of these. So I think in the side these are going to look really quite nice together actually. So in the side as well here, Doctor Who again. Oh, shock horror, we got Doctor is there on this side, and in the top as well with the website. And then in the back, the usual kind of detail, kind of description of the figure, as well as saying, it's quite nice on the top there, kind of saying about the Vortex edition and such like. So yeah, really nice, telling you all about what you're going to get. So let's get it opened and have a closer look. And here he is, and he looks pretty damn good. So first things I want to kind of talk about is obviously the head sculpt. Now, if you don't know, this is actually the first time we've ever had the kind of haircut where it's kind of the more flatter down. It's not the kind of bouffon, as we all kind of know, that he kind of has later on. So this is kind of more season 7 Jon Pertwee, to be honest, but he still kind of had that kind of look almost in season 8 as well. But yeah, so this is like the first time they've done it, and I'm going to say right now the head sculpt is looking really good. So let's actually talk about the articulation on the figure. Now, I believe we obviously have this cape. So cape is really nice, looks really good, and it should just come off. Now, cape's off, so let's talk about articulation. Now, something that should be noted right now, this is the Vortex edition, but as I says, the body isn't. Hence why, if you look at the shoulders, there isn't any kind of joints there, because if the Ncuti one did have those joints, I'm assuming that's what would be, if the whole body had the kind of Vortex Edition version, it would have said joints there. So, because of that, it's just your typical 360 round like that. It doesn't go out like that as the Ncuti version does. So, both easily do that. Going down the arm, goes down 360 like thus, and as always, as you can see, moves there, moves at the elbows, both sides, and hands don't fully go round, they have a little bit of movement, is there. Obviously nothing in the chest, due to obviously the jacket, and down to the legs, you can move round 360 there, down to the legs and the thighs, 360 as well there, and onto the knees, like that, and then onto the feet. There's no movement there, which I'm going to say right now, that's something I actually want to say, I actually prefer that. So the Ncuti figure that they did, the Vortex, have now joints at the ankles, and I really don't like that. I find them very hard to stand when that kind of happens. It's just not for me. I just find it really awkward to kind of basically have them posed and such like. I always think characters done a damn good job of just like, they just stand there and they look perfect. There's no need to have, that's always the problem I have with, I do enjoy collecting Hasbro and Marvel Legends stuff, but sometimes those joints are really, and I get it for dynamic movement, I get the point, but it's just kind of not for me. So yeah, that's the look of the Doctor, and kind of going through his articulation. So let's have a look at quite a few accessories that you get. Obviously, being the Doctor, you can't have a Doctor without a sonic screwdriver, so you get the Third Doctor screwdriver there, as well as the crystal from the Time Monster, which I've never had. I have done this before, so this is pretty cool that I finally have something like this. And lastly, you get a maggot from the Green Death. Now, something very interesting to note about this. If you actually look at your plastic casing, there is clearly versions. You can also get 3 different versions of this. I've got the kind of bottom one that went in there. A lot seem to got like the attacking one, I've noticed. I didn't seem to get that luck. I got the this one, but I kind of like it though. I think I'm kind of fine with having this. And the last thing to talk about is the new sonic screwdriver for the Third Doctor that they've done. So basically, what's the difference here is that they've kind of got more of a kind of chrome finish. It's up to yourself if you like or not like this. I'm kind of half and half. I would have been perfectly fine if they just did just the Third Doctor figure, because the problem is this is not a cheap set. This was $44.99. I believe it's still in character option if you fancy this. It's and the fact they're going to do more of these, I'm very half and half, because I just kind of wish they just did the figures personally. But yeah, this looks nice. It looks good. Little comparison of the other version that I've got here, where it's just a simple kind of grey on it. It's interesting that the one I had was a much lighter red, and then it's a much darker red in this new version on the kind of the top area here, which I find quite interesting. But I don't know why. I just feel like I kind of prefer the one on the left a little bit. I feel like this is a bit too... I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't really actually symbolise what it looks like in the show, but I feel like this kind of does, even though... But right, this generally is a better looking screwdriver. Yeah, I don't know why. I just feel more attached to this one a little bit. It's bizarre. There is a few kind of different. You could even notice, and actually here, just the kind of the black lines around the yellow is even a bit kind of different. But I think this is going to be more of your own personal taste on how you feel about this. Obviously, it makes sounds, as you can imagine. So you've got a. And lastly, I just wanted to kind of do a bit of a comparison of the different versions of Jon Pertwee that we have, and it's quite interesting. Just actually, this was just kind of randomly picked out of the collection that I've got, and it's interesting to see the different colours of hair. Like his, I don't know if it's maybe just the age now, but obviously that one is really white. That one, obviously, the new one is really grey, but then that one, it's got a bit of kind of almost yellow tintage to his hair, which I find quite interesting. And comparing here of the close-ups of their faces, there's no competition. That the Vortex edition is just far superior. I like that it's a bit more, showing a bit more emotion as well, because these are just not, are they actually, when you now kind of look at them, it's very just... it's just a blank stare, really, isn't it? While, you know, Jon Pertwee wasn't that. I think people always kind of just jumped to that. He was always this kind of more stern Doctor, where he was, but he did show some humour and a smirk at a time. And I think actually the Vortex edition really kind of does that well. I assume down the line we might get a season 7 with this now head sculpt, because you could just use the same head sculpt and put on the kind of season 7 body. I would like that because I don't have that one. I think that would be quite nice, because they did do it years and years ago, which I believe is quite hard to get now, that one. But yes, overall, I think, yeah, the Vortex Edition head sculpt is looking really good. And there we have the Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver set. I would love to know what you guys think of this one. This could be an interesting one, especially because the price point. So this is $44.99. I believe you can still get it on character options. You can go ahead and have a wee look there. I just wish we could just have gotten the figure. I don't need this. This is the problem. And like, I get why they did this, because I guess it's good for newer, obviously newer customers coming in. There's always going to be new fans, so I always think that's quite good. So, you know, they might not have this kind of sonic screwdriver yet, but it is kind of hard when you do kind of have these things. I would maybe suggest just wait off. Maybe if eBay, somebody might sell it just on its own. That's always a good, you know, I've bought that before, where I don't, a lot of the TARDIS sets is a good example. I don't need another TARDIS. I just want the figure. That's kind of, I've done that before. Also, a little side note, this background is fantastic that you get with this this figure, and I think I might do something with that. I definitely want to keep it. But yeah, so you get the Sonic, you know, also that nice background, you know, good bit, a wee bit of accessories. It is a great figure, but yeah, $44.99 is kind of a hard one, when really the main thing I just want is just that. So I don't know. It's going to be more up to yourself and how you feel about this, and what you kind of want. My personal opinion is I maybe wouldn't jump for this personally if you know, if you're a big collector, like I guess myself, then maybe yeah. But if you're not really that hugely bothered, I don't know if I would pay the money for this, because it is very pricey for this, to be honest. And the fact that it's not like, let's be real, we've had third doctors, right? At the end of the day, we have third doctors, so there's nothing bright new here. Unlike if we had like a Jamie figure, which I've always kind of wanted, or Barbara is a good example, or Susan, like that is a bit of a kind of difference here. But so yeah, it's going to be more up to yourself. But yeah, overall, like it is a nice figure though. It is nice. I just think the price point is getting a bit kind of and I worry for the future of this kind of industry, to be honest. But we'll kind of see how that kind of pans out. But yeah, so. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. More videos in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. So yeah, more videos in the future. So until then, see you later.